Welcome, my name is Vishal Tekshanani. Today I'm speaking to the Chief Financial Officer of Telstra, Vicki Brady, about the outlook for Australia's largest telco. Vicki, it's great to have you here. How are you?
Pleasure, great to be here.
So Vicki, I'd like to kick off with dividends. So Telstra, of course, a key income stock for many shareholders. Now in FY19, your dividend came below your 70 to 90% payout ratio. Can you talk to shareholders about what your thinking is in terms of returns going into FY20?
No, and it's a great question. I know it's important to our shareholders. So I do want to comment on FY19 first in terms of that payout ratio. So the ratio you reference is our ordinary dividend per share, and it was at 59%, which is below our range. So just in terms of how the board thinks about dividend, they take into account our overall capital management framework, which is really focused on financial strength and flexibility in the future. And so I would also call out, when you look at our basic earnings per share, our dividend payout was actually at 88%. So all of that gets factored in as the board makes its decision. Just in terms of looking forward to FY20, we don't guide on our dividend. We do provide financial guidance on our total income and our EBITDA. And importantly this year, we have called out our underlying EBITDA excluding the NBN headwinds. And I would say for shareholders, that's a really important financial metric because the underlying earnings of the business are absolutely critical to long-term returns.
Okay, so key message for investors is focus on the underlying earnings.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's move on to asset monetization. So you've completed $1 billion in asset sales. That's your halfway mark against the T2022 strategy. What's on the block in terms of sales going forward?
Look, another great question. I'm not going to talk about assets we're looking at the moment because, as you can imagine, they're sensitive commercial negotiations. But what I would say for shareholders that's important, we set out to monetize up to $2 billion of assets. This was really to further strengthen our balance sheet. So, as you rightly say, with our transactions we've recently announced, when they complete, we will be $1 billion through that. And that money will go to pay down debt, which further strengthens our balance sheet and gives us that real financial flexibility and strength. Okay,
on top of that, you've got cost reductions.
We do.
Can you comment on how that program's going?
Absolutely. We set ourselves a goal of taking $2.5 billion out of our underlying fixed costs by FY22. We're $1.17 billion of the way through that with good momentum. And in fact, in FY20, we've accelerated that and we're aiming to take out another $660 million. So really good progress on cost out.
Okay, so returning to growth and really cutting on costs.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to competition. So I'd love your thoughts on the TPG and Vodafone merger, which is before the courts. Do you have a preferred outcome? And would your strategy change either way?
Yeah, look, we'll be watching with interest through the court proceedings and the decision that rests with the courts to make. In terms of how we think about it, well, the industry here in Australia is incredibly competitive. We do not underestimate any of our competitors. And as we set our strategy for T22, we take into account that entire environment and whether TPG and Vodafone end up as one entity or they end up remaining as two, we're confident that our strategy, particularly our leadership in 5G, will position us strongly to be able to compete, but we certainly don't underestimate any of our competitors.
Okay, so you're continuing on with your strategy regarding of what the court outcome will be. Okay, let's turn to your business simplification program. So one of the highlights was that you've cut to 20 your number of small business and retail plans. My understanding is that the pricing for these plans is generally lower and it's easier for customers to get out of them. So can you talk through what that means from an average revenue per user perspective?
Yeah, look, great question. Let me start with, we have reduced from 1,800 to 20 plans. And in doing that, we have fundamentally changed and simplified the construct. So you might remember you used to buy a plan, say $99 with a $0 phone. Today we've separated that in our new plans. So you buy your hardware and can pay that off over 24 or 36 months. And you have your minimum monthly commitment for your service. It is about providing choice, simplicity and flexibility for our customers, and equally it makes our business more efficient. In terms of the pricing on those plans, we talked about at this set of results something called transacting minimum monthly commitment. And that is the minimum monthly commitment, excluding the hardware side of our new and existing customers taking the new plans. And in fact, The new plans deliver economic benefit to our business, and that transacting minimum monthly commitment is up about $2 to $3 since we launched on 25 June. So early days, but we see that as our lead metric, and provided that stays where it is, that will translate into ARPU increases in the future.
Okay, excellent. That's it from me, Vicki. Any other final thoughts you wanted to share with shareholders?
Look, I just wanted to really reiterate, it is an exciting time for Telstra. You know, we're at the dawn of 5G and we're leading that. We've got a successful year behind us on T22, and we're just really excited to get on and keep delivering for our customers and ultimately great returns for our shareholders.
No worries. Vicki, thank you so much for your time, and I wish
you.
you all the best for the future.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
No worries. I hope you found this video informative. Now please remember, what we talked about today isn't investment advice. If you're thinking about transacting in shares of Telstra or any other listed security for that matter, it's really important that you do your research, and please consider seeking financial advice. My name is Vishal Tekshanani, and I'll see you next time.